Hello, Sim friends, and I have a LP house remodel, and this is of a touch of strange. Now, this house, if you haven't done the Gothic event around Halloween, this would be a great house to get. If it's your style. Personally, it's not my style, but I wanted to redo it and make it my own and make it into a lavish theme. And so so as far as inventory in this house, you're getting quite a lot. You're getting the grand stairway, and you're getting the gothic items and some of the classical items. If you like Halloween and goth, then this would be a great house to get. And it's the layout of it is okay. It's not it's not my favorite, but you're getting the stove in there. You're getting this sink. I think it's the elegant sink. And this house is very dark, if you will. You are getting some of the Victorian items in this house. In terms of inventory, this house is pretty good for what you're getting. You are getting quite a lot of items in here, and personally, it's a good value if this house is your style. And it's a great value for if you have not done the Gothic event. I think that for me personally, there was a lot of items in here that I did not have. So I found this house to be of a good value. The Gothic isn't really my style, but I knew I could make this my own, and I did change up the rooms on the second and third floor. And then also there were some, I thought they were rooms, but they weren't. And so I filled those out. So here is, the remodel. I made it into a lavish theme, and I used the gold, the Regency, the windows all throughout the build. And then the pillars are the white studio pillars. And, and I kept the backyard the same, except for I added a hot tub, because every sim house needs a hot tub. And then for the railings, I use the white Glamour, the railings. And then these are the classical doors, I believe. And I use the beige walls and the chalet skirting flooring. And I put a coat rack at the side of the door, so that the Sims can hang up their coats. And I've turned this room into like a piano room. And I think it's a really pretty room. I didn't really hang up any wall hangings because I forgot. And then in this room is a bookshelf and a couch. A lot of these rooms are very awkwardly sized, so I tried to work around that. I didn't want to change up the walls too much. And then here is an office with the red chairs, instead of whiteboard. And then in here I made it into like a library with the Glam mansion fireplace. And then in this little room is a laundry room. Because every house needs a laundry room. And then here is the living room. And then over here was the dining room. I used the fine dining table and chairs. And then here is the kitchen, and I use the red and gold lavish, like the countertops. And, and then I use the lavish stools and then the lavish bar. And then here is the backyard. As I said, it's the same, except for I changed up the fencing and I added a hot tub. And I like how this turned out. Like I think it's pretty. If I were to do anything differently, I would add more wall hangings. But here is the main floor and like of the second floor, and I put in a lavish fireplace and then the lavish sofas. And then here is a bedroom. I put in a black and white bed. There really aren't any lavish beds, so I just kind of made do. And then each room has a computer. And then here is the other bedroom in white. And I use that mod white bed that you unlock at level 64, I want to say. And then here is a room for a kid. And then there's another room for a kid. These rooms are small, so they would only fit a twin bed. Those rooms are quite small. And then you come in to this hallway here, and this is where I changed up the rooms. Here is a bedroom with that pink king size bed. I got that in an online pack. And then here is the other bedroom. It has an elegant white bed. And then here is the bathroom. I use the gold deco bathroom items. And then that light is the Nauvoo light. And then there's the white glamour staircase. And this is just an overview of the second floor. And then here is the third floor. I made a mezzanine. And then that rug is from the newest update. And then here is a bedroom with a tan fancy bed, I think it's called. And then this room is like just a place for a bookshelf, and then a buffet table. And then here is another bedroom. And I made that into another office with that desk. I don't remember where that desk is from. And then here is this bedroom. I use the wabi-sabi bed. And then that smaller room I made as a part of this bedroom. And so I have a computer there. And then here is this room. I use the holiday high-rise king-size bed. And then here is this bedroom, again with the wabi-sabi bed. And then I put in a computer and a closet and a dresser. And then here is the bathroom. It is the exact same bathroom as is on the other floor. And I had used the gold Art Deco items. So this is an overview of the third floor, and I hope you guys enjoyed.